Hello again guys, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. Got some World of Tanks, again, none of that World of Warplane shenanigans. The video was basically shot down in flames, which kind of coincided with my performance in the game. You guys have basically expressed pretty much an interest in me not to do World of Warplanes just yet. You're liking the tanks, stick with what I know and all that good stuff. And to be honest with you, I didn't really like World of Warplanes that much. I've had a couple of games in it and it's pretty much, it's not that great. I do prefer War Thunder massively, in general conclusion. So, what I'm going to do for you today is a review, well not a review, just a basic having a look at the AT15. I'm not going to review it as such, because my armour view is still fucking broken, for no apparent reason whatsoever. But anyway, the AT15 then, it's a Tier 8 British Tank Destroyer, and it follows a really interesting line in the British Tank Destroyer line. For those of you who've been up it, I would recommend it. I really enjoy this tank destroyer line. The sweet spot, or the best part of the whole tank destroyer line, was the AT2 at Tier 5. Okay, it's absolutely broken. If we just take a little bit of a quick look at it, or just to put it into perspective, the Electo, the Valentine AT, they're all good. Alright, but this thing's where it really becomes interesting. Just look at this, look, Tier 5, and it's got 203mm of armour. Alright, and that pretty much carries on throughout all the tank destroyer line. But the problem is, the Tier 6 one's got exactly the same armour. Yeah, the Tier 7 one has got exactly the same armour. But the guns that are shooting back at it are a lot better. You get to the AT15. Oh, I can unlock the 32 pounder. Sweet. I'll do that. Why not? Just for giggles. Yeah, don't equip that gun, it's garbage. On this thing, the AT15, it gets an extra probably 25mm on the front and a little bit extra on the side. But think about the guns that will be shooting back at it. Yeah, Tier 10 guns and all that kind of stuff. They've got a lot more health. I mean, 1450 hit points is a lot of health for a Tier 8 tank destroyer. It weighs, well, it's just a block of metal basically, so it weighs a hell of a lot. It's pushed around by a 650 horsepower engine. The thing with the British tank destroyer line from Tier 5 to Tier 9, right, they're very slow. They don't turn very well. They've got lots of armour, lots of health. And the thing about these particular tank destroyers I found, it's the guns that make them unique. Alright, the top end gun on the AT15 is this 20 pounder AT type B barrel. Very similar in nearly all respects to the gun you get on the Centurion 7.1. Alright, the 20 pounder you get on the Centurion 7.1. Yeah, the only difference is it fires a lot quicker, alright, and it's a lot more accurate, and it's got a lot better aiming time. Now, it shoots 12 rounds a minute, alright, which is really good. It's got pretty good penetration. In fact, I would like to say really good penetration. I like that penetration on that. 226 penetration is pretty sweet at Tier 8. Only got 230 alpha damage, but you know what? If you're shooting 12 rounds a minute, that's going to add up. Yeah, a 0.3 accuracy, which is amazing, and a 1.7 second aiming time. Basically, it's a DPM tank, but the problem with it is, for me, okay, it's got a really accurate, high penetration, fast firing gun. I basically use it as a mid to long range sniping vehicle. For the simple reason is, these vehicles are unique in a way that weak points, you cannot under any circumstances get this tank in any position to hide its weak points if you want to shoot the gun effectively at your target. Because guess what? One of the main weak points is the fucking gun. This bit here, this gun mantlet, this hole here, if they can get around through there, yeah, it's going to penetrate. I wish I could show you the armor viewer. The cupola at the top here is a weak point, okay, and it's just so easy to shoot at. It's like, oh, aim here. Nearly all of the British tank destroyer line, for if you go up here, they've all got these massive turrets, these massive aim here buttons on top of them. So you have massive issues getting in close range battles with these things. One thing that is a good thing about these tanks that I really like is the gun traverse. The gun traverse is ridiculous, and it's not one of the things that you notice on the tank. The tank can basically position itself at 45 degrees and still shoot the gun. So you can effectively angle it. And that's what I've started doing. I've started presenting my tank at an angle, hopefully trying to go around the right hand corner so that your big nipple's stuck out the way. And in between shots, you point the gun mantlet at the target and then push it round to this position so that the shooting at this actual armoured mantlet here. And it does prove to be a reasonable thing to do in a situation in one of the games I'm going to show you. View range is pretty good. Okay, 370 and signal range is 750. Not too shabby at all. Basic set of consumables on it. My ammo loadout, I take AP, mostly AP, 48 rounds of AP, 10 APCR in case I come up against something that I really can't punch through, and a couple of HE rounds for resetting caps. I've gone for rammer, because firing fast is always good, vents, because it makes everything better, and binos. Other options you could do, you could go for enhanced gun lane drive, but why do you want plus 10% aiming speed when your aiming speed is 1.7 seconds? Or possibly coated optics to stack with binos, but then again you're replacing either of these two. I can't see a thing. You possibly could go for coil springs, plus 20% to stop you getting tracked, but I wouldn't pay 500,000 credits to get better tracks, although people do shoot your tracks out, so there's another option. For crew skills, camouflage for me is a must. Not getting seen or being able to get the first shot off with any tank destroyer. I've gone for 6 cents on my commander to start with, Deadeye on my gunner, and then camo and clutch braking to make it turn faster. Yeah, camouflage and situational awareness for view range, safe stowage and camo, and then camo and repairs. Just a personal opinion, I like camouflage, I just like not getting seen. Yeah, so that's the AT15 from a garage perspective then. So let's actually look at some gameplay, see if I can demonstrate what I'm trying to tell you. Alright then, the first game I'm going to show you is a standard battle on Ensk. It's a 60%er. Basically, I get a bit upset because I've had a pretty crappy time on the last few battles, and I go on my AT15 for a bit of relief, and I find out I've got a city map. But this game basically contradicts everything I've just told you in the garage review. Basically, I do exactly the opposite of what I believe you should do in this tank. Basically, I just think, fuck it, drive forward and shoot anything that moves. And it turns out it works really well in this particular situation. But I am not against fantastic players on the enemy team. A skilled player against one of these in a close-up environment will absolutely smash the living daylights out of you. And I can't emphasise that enough. They really, really will. Because of your weak points, you know, they'll shoot your cupola, they'll shoot your central gun mantlet. Yeah, the one thing about this tank that I actually got noticed and told by another player that I know, you can actually right-click aim against these tanks, auto-aim against these tanks, and still hit their weak points. That is a unique thing for these vehicles. So what I decided to do is pop myself in this bush, okay, and try and cover the middle road here. There's a pretty decent push going into the town, okay, the tracks and the field are basically non-existent for our players. I'm just covering this area just to see what's going to come around, see if I can get any early spots and early shots. Didn't see anything, so I decided to move forward. Oh, 1375. Oh. Yeah, I managed to get this gun down to about 4 second reload, which is really, really, really useful. It's about 4.3 seconds, give or take, which really catches people off guard, especially when they're getting 230 damage average per shot. It really can whittle them down. So what I've decided to do is help out the guys in the town. Okay, the scouts and the mediums are sort of handling the field. So I just think, you know what, just keep driving. Just fuck it, keep driving. Keep going forward. And there's an IS-6, and he spots me. So now I've angled myself. Now, let's just have a little bit look here. I'm sort of angled myself, not fantastically. Yeah, it's not a bad angle, but the gun traverses allows me to peek around here, and basically watch this IS-6's return shot. Yeah, it hits me bang smack in the centre. He's actually going for my weak point, my turret, my little turret on the top. Okay, well, thankfully, because he's got a really good reload, I can put this gun to work. I put the DPM to work while he's reloading, so I managed to get 2 shots in. Bounced off him, but you know what, IS-6 is no choice. And he shoots me again. Where does he actually aim for? Oh, let's have a look. Where does he get me? Yep, he gets me in like the lower shoulder there. Yeah, he's not going to penetrate there. That's 228 millimeters. I keep jinking, keep moving. And just push him, just bully him. He presents me a sign and I bang one into him. Yeah, just absolutely owned. Around the corner, plenty of enemy tanks to deal with. Now let's put it this way, how pissed do you think that SU-152 is there? Okay, with that KV-1S. How pissed do you think that SU-152 is? This FU-152 basically gets absolutely annihilated there. And that KVS basically blocks him from reversing. And I take the reload, finish him off around the corner. Now, to my discredit, I didn't see this tank here. So I can back off slightly. I'm basically running out of targets. I'm running out of things to shoot, and this is a problem you can find with these really slow tank destroyers, is the battle can run away from you. If at any point you go pick the wrong way, or decide to go the wrong way and the battle goes the other way, you do have a hell of a game trying to get back into the fight. On a small map like this, you can pretty much stay in the fight if you go into the city and do city fighting. I've pretty much run out of ideas now, so I've basically decided, you know, I'm going to go back and stop the cap, but then again, you know, globs will stop cappage, but it's all over. There's 3 enemy left, really no idea where they are. Thankfully the enemy finds them, sorry, the friendlies find them. And I do something quite unique in a AT15. I actually go flanking. I don't want to push down that main road with the T69 and Type 59 there, so I'm going to go flanking. I've been spotted, but you know what? I really don't care. I'm in an AT15 on full health. Notice I'm still full health. I haven't lost any health in this game whatsoever. So drive around the corner, not giving a single shit. Who can we shoot at first? Who's next? T69, not a problem. I'm playing one of these things. Unless he's firing gold, he's going to have massive issues getting through me. And it turns out he's not. Because that one hit me... Where did that hit me? Just below the gun. Yeah, he's aiming for my gun again. But that DPM to work. And now we're just going to take out the Type 59. 4-second reload, just going to put it to work. Unfortunately, the Tiger 2 decides to lose his track right in front of me, so I'm going to turn around and go this way, rubbing me a bit more damage, but hey ho. Yeah, and because I reload so quick, I'm also going to get a killing blow on the Type 59 for 5 kills. Yeah, so that basically goes against everything that I've said about the AT15. Yeah, this really only works, in my personal opinion, this city brawling thing, if the enemy don't really know what they're shooting at. They don't understand. When these tanks first came out, they were really good at this, but now everybody's figured it out that you just basically shoot them in their weak points and they blow up. And everyone can see your weak points from a mile away. Alright then, so, onwards. Alright then, here we have the post-game stats for that one. To be honest with you, not a spectacular game. One thing I would like to note about this, I did finish second. With 5 kills, but the KB4 had an absolute blind over game. I believe he got the steel wall as well, because I received a potential 1320 damage, didn't actually take any damage whatsoever. Yeah, the 4 shots that hit me, all 4 of them bounced. So if they don't know what they're firing at, yeah, they don't know where they're shooting at, this thing can be an absolute beast of a tank. But yeah, you can use it in a brawling mode if you want to. Yeah, not a bad game whatsoever. So, the second game, however, is a completely different story. So, let's have a look at the second game. Alright then, second game. I'm platooned up this time with Hey Maria from Circon's livestream. Unfortunately, bless her, this was again one of the sets of games where she didn't do very well. And let's just put it into perspective, this is a 36% chance to win game. Now, I don't normally pay much attention to XVM's win percentages, but a 36%er, with our 2 top tier tanks of both, well, both our top tier tanks aren't that experienced, Hey Maria included. They've only got 3,000 games between them, bless them, so chances are, could be an issue. So, that wasn't really what kind of put me off and put me on a bit of a despondency with this game. I'll just fast forward it so I get into position. I decided to take this ridge up here. To give me a clear view down the right hand side of the map. Now the problem is, now check out who's gone there. An AMX-12T and a T-44 sitting in a frickin' bush at the start of the game. Are you kidding me? A light tank and a medium. Right, and Hey Maria comes over here as well, but she decides to go down, which is great, that's awesome, that's where heavy tanks should go, down there to actually engage them. This T-44 is just shooting at random shit in the distance. Not looking so good so far. Alright, so I set myself up here, get my binos up and see what I can see. Yeah, there's a couple of tanks that have gone down the 0 line, but hardly anybody has gone into that town bit. Let's just put this into perspective, look at how many tanks are sat up here. Now they can't see this side of the map, so they're only going to be able to shoot at what's coming this way. So not a good start so far. But anyway, thing is with this thing, you stick to what you make a decision and you stick with it, because you haven't got the mobility and the speed to be redeploying every 5 seconds to anywhere on the map. So stick with what I know. I'm just generally looking, searching around, keeping my binos up, using my view range. There's a K1S. Don't think we'll be able to get rounds on him just yet, so just back off, reset, yeah, stick your binos back up again, and just be patient. You know, 'cause things come to those who wait. The enemy, the friendly heavies are in position around about F and E0, that kind of area, and we spot the best player on their team. So let's put some damage into him then. He's a valuable player to put some damage to. Taking over half his health after the first few seconds of the game. Unfortunately, that round missed. Now I don't know too much about those little really flat mediums, the new Russian mediums. I don't really know too much about them, where to shoot them, etc. I'm going to have to research that. Now the Lurver starts spamming chat and starts calling us all homos and idiots and all the rest of it, and I just say, yeah, we get it. Yeah, he's plinking the thing. To my discredit, I didn't notice. I just put in chat, okay, we get it, so we can react to this, Stuart. Alright, and the Nassau reacts in quite spectacular fashion. Now the Lurver calls me an idiot. Camper idiot. Well, I'm a fucking TD, bro. That's what TDs do. You know. See, Nassau just take out that M5 Stuart in quite spectacular fashion. If in doubt, ram him to death. So I decide to redeploy. I'm going to leave the rest of those guys over on the right flank of the map, and the 8, 9 and 0 line, because I think that many tanks can handle themselves. Yeah, and the Lurver starts calling us all super noobs. So we're all super noobs, but he's fucking dead in the first 4 minutes of the game. Yeah, again, you're going to get idiots in World of Tanks, guys. That's what you have to learn to realise. Now, Hey Maria's fighting for a life down in the city, but she's completely outnumbered, completely outclassed, bless her. So she dies in short order. Now, the A43, one of the new Russian mediums, shoots me right in the gun and takes my gun out. But, you know, at this range, I don't really need a super accurate gun. And I'm just going to work him down. He's trying to flank me, take his tracks off, keep myself facing frontally, and just wait for him to reload and do its work. Yeah, basically, I don't know what the hell, but it's always nice getting an ammo rack with 4 hit points left, yeah? That's all good. Couldn't happen on the first round, could it, Globbs? No, you had to shoot 4 shells into him and wait for the fun. Now, Panther 2. Right, he just took out my loader and he shot me right in the weak point. Look at that. Now, that's took out my loader. So that, not only is that a weak point, which any kind of gun that shoots at it will penetrate it, it also is where your loader sits. So if he kills one of your loaders, he takes out one of the advantages of this tank, its fast-firing nature. Now, I've got an inaccurate gun, and now I've got a slower reload, so I decide to use both my repair pack and my health pack for my crew. Because, you know what, Glob sort of digs his heels in here. You know what, fuck it, you guys are not coming around this corner. You can go screw yourself if you come around this corner. I'm here, and you've got to get past me. And I've got an AMX-12T. Now this AMX-12T guy, I've slagged him off a little bit at the start, but he does a really fantastic distraction run here. Gets them to turn their guns in, allows them to get a shot into the Tiger to track him. I would have liked a bit of damage there, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. Now I turn myself just in time, so he misses me. Now I've got a Tiger 2 and a Panther 2, and I'm sat in a corner, and the enemy artillery is already on 3 kills. So the Globbs has got problems. Can I get a shot into the Panther? Oh, come on, give me a shot in the Panther. Yeah. Do some damage to the Panther. Tiger bounces off me from slightly angle, and the GW takes my tracks off and does a healthy amount of damage to me. At this point, I'm thinking, you know what the hell's the friggin' point? We're losing 6-9 anyway. The Tiger puts another meaty shell into me. I mean, where did that go through? Let's have a look. Yeah, straight through my gun again. Was it through my gun? Yeah, pretty much straight through my gun. Yeah, he's probably right-click aiming. Yeah, just auto-aiming. Now, I decided to pull back slightly, because what I'm going to do here, and this is where it becomes a little bit... I'm not saying I'm any good or anything, or something, but I decided to use this this Tiger's lack of gun depression against him. I backed off over this hill, so he's got to come over that rise. And when he does, he can't shoot me. because he can't get his gun down. Now I shoot him. So I took his track off, and the Nashorn behind me tries to put some effective fire into him. And you've got to love those German tanks when they get their frontal engine fires. That's all great. Yeah, GG Nashorn. Yeah, he saved my ass there. I think I could have DPM'd him down, but I probably wouldn't have survived with very much health. And here's this Panther. Again, he dings a shot off me. I put a round into him. Puts another shot into me, takes my track off. I do the same, return the favour, shooting my tracks off again for artillery. Shoot his weak point. Fortunately the Nashorn dies, but it means the Panther wasn't shooting me. And potentially taking off my health. So I'll finish off the Panther. So that's that flank secured. Happy days. Right, what to do now? Artillery's already got me zeroed. Alright, so let's toddle on back to the cap. Let's not go where he expects me to go. I act like I'm going forwards around the corner. Now I think I'm off his map. I'm off his map now. So now I'm going to turn around and go back the way I came. Alright, so he thinks now I'm travelling down that alleyway. Or down that valley there in B4. So I go back up to the cap circle because it's me and 2 other tank destroyers against 6 enemy players. The SU-152 has been beaten up. Okay, the T-25-2 is on 360 health, and I've seen better days as well. Time to put your carrying pants on, Globbs. Yeah, best player on the team left. You're gonna have to start to shine. Now, obviously, my mobility at this point is working against me. This is a kilometre map. Okay, this map is a kilometre long, kilometre square. So it's going to take me a while to get where I need to go. But hopefully... Oh, nice shot on the KV-1S from the SU-152 there to set him on fire. What I'm hoping at the moment, what I was thinking was, let's let them come to us. You know, let's let them come to us. Hopefully they'll trickle in one at a time, which it looks like they're doing. Right, that AC's got to die first. But I've got to keep myself aware of the artillery, because the artillery's on 3 kills. Churchill 7, but he's going to be slow. Right, let's concentrate on the AC. Okay, he comes up the hill, he's not looking at me. Okay, he's chasing 25-2. So I put my gun to work and take out their top tier tank destroyer. So now it's just a bunch of tier 6s, a tier 7, and their artillery. And thankfully the T-25-2 takes out their Churchill 7, but gets splatted by the artillery in return. So it's 2 versus 4, so it's 2 on 1. The SU's is literally 1 shot for anything other than a feather, so it's all down to me. So I come around the corner, and there's your KV-1S. Now check this out. Okay, first round, not a problem. First round, tracks him. No problem. Charging down the hill, reload in 4 seconds, should kill him, right? No, in the tracks again. That KV-1S was firing HE. He must have done, because he took me from 570 health to 538. He was firing HE. And there's the EZ2. The EZ2's got the dirt gun. I'll soon destroy him quite quickly. Yeah. And at some point during that exchange, the SU-152 died. So it's me, it's 2 versus 1. I'm against artillery. Okay. And a T-43. Now, I'm thinking about it now. The trouble with my mobility, or lack of it in this particular case, I thought to myself, if I go all the way and start motoring towards their cap circle and I get halfway there, I'm not going to be able to get back and reset the cap. So I'm just basically going to go into my cap at this point. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wait for them. And then the ISU-152 says, report the T-43 for bot. So does that mean the T-43's AFK? I mean, he was last spotted in E5, so he has played an active part in the game. He's made it all the way from the cap circle, which sort of made me to doubt whether he was actually a bot. But you know what? Somebody else pings it, and I go, okay, fair enough, I'll have a look. I'll go and have a look. Let's just speed it up a little bit as I go over there. And it turns out that he's there. Now, that was a proximity spot. 6 sensors gone off, I've been spotted, and then the Mr. Obvious, Mr. T-25-2 says now Artie will shoot you. But I've got to kill this T-43. Spotted anyway, I may as well put the damage into it. And artillery, yes, does take out a big chunk of my health. Yeah. And then Captain Obvious says Artie's going to shoot now, and then he basically resides this to the annals of the loss and says GG to the enemy team. But I tell you what, screw you, bro. Globbs is going to hunt himself a piece of artillery. I know the GW Panther's got about a 30-second reload. He won't have reloaded yet. So I'll get out of here, put as much distance between me and that T-43 as I can. And then thankfully, there goes his shell. Now, I'm trying my best not to damage anything. Alright, as best I can as I'm going through here. Using my skills, my west side driving skills. So I'm just going to speed it up. And I'm making way. Now there he is. Unfortunately, the first shot misses. So does the second one. Missed him by millimetres. So now I've got to make my way up here, and he knows I'm here now, so I start jinking and turning side to side. I'm just going to speed it up slightly. Jinking. Now this is at the point where I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. My heart's in my throat. I'm thinking, geez, if I lose this now. And my KV1S player says, oh, very good player. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether he's actually being sarcastic at this point, but it turns out he actually wasn't. I use the bushes as cover. Yeah, and make my way up, see if I can try and spot the GW Panther again. I'm wondering where he's gone at this point. I mean, you know where I'd go. I'd just be off. I'd just run. I would run and relocate, and so I can see the cap circle, wait for me to start capping, then come back and charge me and try and shotgun me in the face. But it turns out he's basically hidden behind a rock, and I think he's waiting for me in ambush to come around the corner. Because there he is, he's right there. He's literally right there. Look at that. Thank you very much. Okay, Globbits, my admirations. It's always nice when you get a thank you off your team and not just ranting and raving. Alright. Okay, back to the garage for a conclusion then, after the post-game stats. Yeah, that was a bit of a beast of a game. Got me 86,000 credits for a ×3 and 7,491 experience, which got me nicely halfway towards the 32 pounder, so that I can get my way onto the Tortoise. Netted me a Top Gun, a Steel Wall, and a Radley Wattles medal, which is never a bad thing. By far did better than anybody on my team. Almost double the experience of nearly anyone on my team. With obviously the exception being the T25-2. 8 kills for 4,759 damage. As far as I'm concerned, that's about as close to a carry as I want to get to, because this game will give me palpitations at times. Yeah, 539 shots, hit 33. Of the 33 that hit, 30 went in, giving me a total of 4,759 damage. I received 12 hits, 10 penetrations, 1 splash damage from the artillery, and 2 non-penetrating hits for potential damage of 4,190. Alright, so that's not a bad effort at all. Alright. 2 enemies spotted, 9 enemies damaged, 8 enemies killed, and 2.28 kilometers travelled. Netted me a nice 48,000 credits to move on to other things. Alright, so back to the garage then for a quick conclusion. So to put it bluntly, I quite like these tanks. I have enjoyed the British Tank Destroyer line. I'm not really a Tank Destroyer player, but for me, I do quite like them. I think when they first came out, they were a lot more dangerous than what they are now, for the simple reason everybody knows where to shoot at them now. So their weak points are, for me, far too prominent. I am looking forward to the Tortoise when I eventually get there. But at this moment in time, I'm going to stick with my AT15 beast. Use it as a sniper if you need to. I have had my Mastery Badge game was an absolute stunner. You can use this in the cities if you need to. The only downside to this tank for me is its weak points and its lack of mobility. But if you can work around those, yeah, the British Tank Destroyer line is a fun line to go down, guys. Yeah, I fully recommend it. Alright, so as far as I'm concerned, that's me done for now. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. It's been about 5 days since my last one, but life has gotten in the way of my YouTube, so it has a habit of doing these things. So anyway, as far as I'm concerned, guys, hope you enjoyed the replay. As usual, if you did sub, I'm nearly at 200 subscribers. It's freaking awesome, guys. I'm loving it. Let's get some comments down there below. Get it shared. Get it out there. Yeah, the more people we have, the more comments we have, the more discussions we can have, and the more things we can do later on. Alright, as far as I'm concerned, guys, that's Globbits and his AT15. That's Glob signing off. Bye now. Take care of yourself, guys.